feather which you now see is the feather from the breast of this bird. You can just imagine the size of the bird when you see a feather of this size. Their wingspan is up to 70 inches. That is more than my arm span. Well, the unique nature of this bird lies in the fact that it is a fish eater. It needs fish all year round, but it lives in severe Siberia, Far Eastern conditions.
This red-book bird is now found only in the Russian Far East and in Japan. Each fish owl family needs a large and, most importantly, pristine territory to inhabit. It is hardly possible to count their current population. But in the winter, the fish owl is easier to find. It sticks to the ice-free areas of the rivers so that it can catch fish.
According to our estimates, in the Ussuri region, this is in the southern part of their habitat, in Sikhote-Alin, there may be about 100 pairs. That's it. It's difficult to speak about Russia as a whole. I can't say that. The minimum distance between neighboring nests might be, well, tens and hundreds of kilometers. The basin of a small river, with a total length of, say, about 60 miles, can only support one pair.
We had to walk very long distances, leaving the base camp for several days and pitching tents and sleeping in the forest. This is an interesting period in nature, when you can see things that are hidden during other seasons, since there are no leaves on the trees. The taiga is much more easily observed. I think we cannot slow down now. We should continue the search. We are so close to our cherished goal. It has been such a long way, so much effort. Bloody hell. After a while, we found tracks on one of the trees. There was a fallen tree in the water, and the fish owl had most likely used it as a roost site for fishing. Here, and we saw real fish owl tracks.
Look. See, I'm almost sure that this was a fish owl.
This was a very joyful moment, because the information we had received from the local resident was beginning to be confirmed. The Latin name for the fish owl is Ketupa blakistoni. Here it is, a unique track in the form of a capital K. This is the owl's personal signature, and an expert cannot mistake it for anything else. The elusive bird is somewhere near. Then we went on and reached the whitewater. There were holes in ice there, made by the fish owl when it perched on the shore waiting for fish. And there were tracks there, and even some bits of fish on the shore. There was definitely a fish owl on this part of the river.
Turn it there.
This is what ornithologists call a roost site. It is very convenient for the fish owl to fish from such a branch.
Let's make it a bit more horizontal. I suggest we make it a little higher here to make it less slippery.
Sure. Let's put this stone here.
It is characteristic of this owl to walk around its hunting grounds.
That is generally not very common for owls.
Here it stands, waits, and grabs the fish with its talons. It does not need large fish. It prefers small ones. 300 grams is the perfect size.
We created working conditions so that the photographer could sit down and start shooting. It's one thing when there is just a tent standing. It's another thing when a living person is sitting in it. This bird has perfect hearing and vision. Of course, it understands everything. Sergei, well, how many days does the bird really need to adapt, to get used to our hunting blind? You see, I can't wait, damn it. I want to get in there as quickly as possible and take some pictures.
I wouldn't recommend starting right away.
Why's that?
Well, let's try to avoid any risk. We have time. Let it stay for a couple of days, all right?
We are changing the landscape too much, yeah?
Yes.
Nikolai has waited 2 weeks for the cautious bird to get used to the light and the tent. Only then did the photographer decide to attempt a first session. I hope that the night will not be very cold. The tent is reliable. There is a special video camera outside that allows us to watch the whitewater without creating any noise or movements. And we hope the fish owl will come here. The camera is ready. The flash is set. We're just going to have to wait and hope for the best. The good news is that the fish owl came once, today. It is a very cautious bird. And it flew into the light zone once. I managed to take several pictures. But I think these pictures are far from what I need. We will have to continue shooting. Gradually, the bird got used to it. It even got used to me. You could even say some kind of mutual trust was probably beginning to appear. The bird began to come closer and closer, to go out into the light, to come more often. And it did not react to flashes at all. The bird was absolutely calm and comfortable. It seems that the bird understood that it should act like some kind of model. And it tried to pose as much as possible. Every person has some moments in life that he remembers forever. And in my life, one of these moments will probably be this night. Because today, I was lucky to photograph the fish owl. It came here 6 times. Yes! That's how it is.
The most dangerous predators for the fish owl are humans. Sometimes this is a direct action. Well, if someone wants to hunt an owl for whatever reason. Once we had to take 2 nestlings from the nest because the female had been shot and the male wasn't capable of feeding the nestlings. But most often there is indirect influence. For example, overfishing reduces their food supply.
The situation will be reversed once everyone understands that the fish owl needs protection, no less than the Amur tiger or the Far Eastern leopard.